Hi, Simi Burn here, branding expert at Prospology. I'm going to show you an example of a student's bio in their branding part of the Prospology course. And this was a bio that actually started out really good. So, this is an example of how we took a student's brand from good to great. So we'll go through this before version. This was the first version of their bio that they submitted. They already knew that they wanted their niche to be mental health and continuing medical education, and that was born out of personal and professional experiences. So that student already knew what their niche was and kind of their target audience, but many of our students don't know coming in. So they have a story here. The turning point came when I found myself at a patient's bedside, listening to him cry for help as he heaved. I can't live like this anymore. No one will listen to me, and I'm not getting the help I need. Ugh. For months, my patient had struggled to find relief from his depressive symptoms despite undergoing various medication trials. So that is a really good quote, a strong quote. So we'll see how we transform that in the after. While listening intently to my patient's distress, a shiver ran down my spine as these words mirrored the countless times I had heard similar sentiments from a loved one under my care. We also experienced the daunting healthcare system, where patients seeking help with their mental health often encounter unmet needs and where well intentioned healthcare providers struggle to offer them the necessary care. So the shiver down the spine and really feeling that sensory visceral experience was great there. That is really important that you draw into in the reader through their imagination into a scene, and then tying that back to well-intentioned healthcare providers struggling to offer mental health care was really strong there in that before version. But we can make this even a lot stronger. So we'll see what we came to through several rounds of revisions and our team of expert to make this brand really stand out and be really personal and unique to that student through the story and through weaving the details of their niche into the story. So we get a sense of how they came to this place. So what we did first is bring that "I can't live like this anymore" quote right to the front, because that is immediately brings you into the scene, and those words hit hard, and my pharmacy training left me ill equipped. So you can really get a sense of being at a patient's bedside and hearing them actually speak these words. We've immediately drawn into the story much more than the original start, which was just stating, "I'm a medical writer and this is what I write about." And then we have a more seamless transition between the patient and then the family member's story. And the difference here is we really got more specific about what happened and kind of an experience where the writer was forced to stay overnight in the ER and then driving home the next day, and the realization that they were still basically in the same place, and that being a turning point of this person that they began to dedicate themselves to mental health research and describing studies and podcasts and combining the inpatient stories and becoming aware of gaps in training. So rather than just saying, "I have mental health experience with a patient and then with a family member, and I want to educate healthcare professionals about it," it's drawing you into that story that we went from the next logical conclusion, and you imagine somebody poring over all these resources and then realizing that there's a gap and a problem that they want to solve. And then it makes sense that they've chosen this niche of mental health, and specifically within mental health, positioning compassion and shared decision making into the mindsets of healthcare professionals through continuing medical education. And that's something really great as well. In this same cohort of students, there was another student who was also niching in mental health, but from a very different perspective. And that was something remarkable, is that each individual within their niche can kind of arrange their business according to their values and their interests. So this was a good example of a good to great bio, and really stands out in the final draft.